Laura here with Novice Garden. I'm just out in the garden this evening doing a bit of tidying up for autumn, and I thought you guys would like to see an end of season garden tour. So it's actually the beginning of November. I mean, looking at the garden, you wouldn't believe that. We've had such a mild, damp autumn that things are still going strong. I still have summer annuals alive, would you believe it? How has the season been in your area? Please leave me a comment below, let me know. I'm always so thrilled to hear from you. So I'm going to take you guys around. Things are looking a little bit wild. I've let things get on top of me a little bit. That's nothing new for me. However, some things are still looking really beautiful. So let's take a little tour around and just see what we've got going for the end of the season in kind of early, very early winter, 2021.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Okay, so starting off in a slightly different place for this garden tour, I'm out at our front entryway, our front door, taking a look at some of the display that I put together in a video prior to this one. This is just kind of like leftover from autumn, Halloween, getting ready to take this down soon, but I thought we would just take a little look at how the display in the pots are looking. So we've got our large pumpkins, our munchkin pumpkins, this one which is a blue juniper, the evergreen in the centre here that you can see, and cyclamen, some yellow chrysanthemums. We've got that really cute little planter that I did in the video prior to this one, which is our Carex Evergold, cyclamen on the side there at the left, and just various different autumnal chrysanthemums. And then if I just kind of scooch on over to this side, it's just a repeat of everything that we've got on the other side, with our nice big chrysanthemums, munchkin pumpkins, cyclamen, but with the addition of a bronze form carex, which is the kind of feathery grass texture that you can see above the munchkin pumpkins. And this is a miniature arbor vitae on this side. Let's head round the back.
We got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
So as always, I'm starting off in the bottom left hand corner of my garden with a nice wide angle shot of everything that is going on just now. So I mean, really, I can't believe that it's early November. It doesn't feel at all like the start of the winter here in Scotland, in central Scotland. As I said, we've had a really mild, really damp autumn, so some things are still going strong, and other things like the Acer, which usually lives, well, it is still here in the bottom left hand corner of the shot, has completely lost all its leaves. You can kind of see some of the debris below here that I'm yet to tidy. And yet, you know, the Verbena bonariensis in the central island here is still going strong. That's a summer annual in our area. In fact, let's go and take a closer look at that. Beautiful kind of electric purple. And I mean, you know, it is losing some of its little mini blooms, but all in all, still pretty. So why don't we start off with this side of the garden, which is, as I've mentioned before, the sunnier side. And I've already said that the Acer atropurpureum over here, which you can see I get a close-up. Has lost all of its leaves already, which is sad, but it'll come back next year. Now here's a dilemma, guys. Please comment below and let me know what you would do about this. This is a variegated pittosporum that I've got planted here at the front of the border. Now, it took a battering last winter. We had a very hard winter. We had quite a lot of snow and sleet and ice and temperatures, you know, like minus 17 degrees Celsius, which is very unusual for central Scotland. So yeah, it has a big dead area right in the middle. So you can see it's pushed a lot of new growth elsewhere, and I just don't know what to do about it. I've had this shrub. It was one of the first ones that my mum and I actually picked for the garden. So it does have a little bit of, just a little bit of kind of sentiment, I suppose you could say. Would you remove it, or would you give it a season to see if it bounces back? So we've got some nasturtiums still going strong down here. Again, with me talking about summer annuals still being in bloom. It's November, guys. I can't believe it. If we head under the archway, you can see some more Verbena bonariensis. And one of the roses that I planted this year, and a weed behind it. I did say we had lots of weeds, guys. This is Claire Austin, and it is a David Austin rose. Probably one of the last blooms for it. My hope, oh no, look, there's some behind it. My hope for this rose is that it will eventually climb up and over the arch that is above us. We've got some more nasturtiums. Purple Palace Heuchera, I think. Beautiful autumnal foliage there. And then next to it, again, some more summer annuals in bloom. We've got some double click cranberry cosmos. I mean, they are looking a little bit feeble. It is November after all, guys, but still pretty. And some more nasturtium. Further along the border, you can see the borage is just spilling over the edge. Pollinators absolutely love this annual. And things starting to look a little bit tired now along the rest of this border, but we've got my smoke bush just up ahead. You can see that's the kind of purple, dark purple foliage. It's a royal purple variety. And then in the distance you can just see the kind of autumnal foliage of the blueberry bushes, which I can see one blueberry left. Let's have a look. The birds haven't quite got to that one yet. But the blueberry bushes put on a really nice autumnal display.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. We don't need no more, even in the hard time.
So I'm taking a look at things now from the breakfast patio area of the garden into the kind of central turf area. You can see all of my shrubs and perennials around the kind of border of the turf. The two limelight hydrangeas, one in this corner and one up in the far away corner. They did really well this year, guys. Really well. Let's go and take a look at this one first. It's probably it's probably coped less than the other one. I think probably getting a little bit too much sun up in this area. So you can see the blooms on it have started to kind of dry, but I think they scorched a little bit as well in the sun, probably with a bit of a rain as well. So this one here, I'm going to put up some summer footage from one of my summer garden tours, and you can tell me what you think. Did it do well this year, guys? I've never grown limelight hydrangeas. I mean, I think it did. Next year we'll see if it makes it through winter. That is the real test. So underneath the hydrangea, we've got some Purple Palace heuchera. I definitely know that these ones are Purple Palace in the background. Some tomatoes just sort of tumbling down. They're definitely at the end of their life. And this little perennial here, which is a Junior Walker Nepeta. And again, almost ready to be cut back, but still a nice kind of almost lavender-esque accent in the garden. So from this angle, you can also see my Indian Prince calendula, which is still going strong. And behind it, we've got the hardy geranium roseanne, which is starting to look a little bit tired now, but it's just flowered relentlessly all through the summer and autumn. And then behind that and above it, we've got my bird feeder, which will be starting to get used a lot more, and my Prunus Little Pink Perfection, which is starting to put on some of its autumnal colour. Here's a close-up of some of the geranium roseanne blooms. I'm going to try and dry some of these to preserve the garden over winter. So from here, let's head on up, I think, and finish the tour in what is left of my small vegetable garden. So I'm going to start off with the good, and then we'll go on to the bad and the ugly. In this planter here, we have got some Nantes carrots, and they're doing really well. I planted them probably end of August. So, you know, it's a fairly deep planter. It's about a foot and just over a foot, I think. So plenty of room for them to grow. You know, lots of nice thick green growth. I mean, they're not ready yet. I keep coming in, having a look, pulling a couple. Why don't we pull one today, actually, and see what it's looking like. Okay, here's... Okay, I mean, not too long. I can definitely eat that. But I feel like maybe another few weeks and we'll have some nice baby carrots. Another one of my Indian Prince calendulas here as well. A calendula is another one that I think I might try to dry to preserve. And then just behind the carrots, you can see some of the summer annuals that I've still got going. The silvery plant in the middle is Cineraria silver dust or dusty miller, and the petunias around the outside are actually a variety called Surfinia, and they're hot pink. And I've got a repeat over in the other urn over there. And in the opposite planter just here, which is just exactly the same size as the one next to it on the other side of the walkway in between the middle, I've got just some salad leaves here. So we've got some spinach, which is looking a bit worse for wear. I think the slugs are loving that, so I might pull that and reseed it. We've got some wild rocket, which is actually looking amazing, and it tastes amazing as well, and some lettuce on this side. So in the slightly bigger bed, we've got a rogue flower pot. First of all, let me get that. Well, actually, it's got lots of soil in it. Let's leave it just now. I have got what remains of my peas and my runner beans, which both need to come out. But again, as I said, things have got a bit away from me. So I will go in there and I will take them down. I'm actually going to strip all of these runner beans from the plant because these are definitely still edible, and I could probably dry them as well to get seeds for next year. And then I wanted to save this to show you all. This is my monster marrow that I grew. You can see the remains of the plant here, which I'm just about to pull out, but this was the last thing on it, this huge marrow. I am pretty proud of that. And then I'm just going to finish up by showing you, I think, probably the last of the Gertrude Jekyll climbing rose blooms. Sorry, my hands are dirty. But isn't she beautiful? I wish that you guys could smell how good the Gertrude Jekyll rose smells. It's just incredible. Such a heady fragrance. So I'm just briefly going to show you the garden from this point of view. It's the messiest side of the garden, and the whole garden is messy, so that's saying something. But that's kind of how I like it. I like things to be a bit wild, but I definitely need to get into this border, the one at the back here with the railway sleepers, and just get in there and get it ready for autumn. Get it ready for winter, sorry. In fact, we've passed autumn now. You can see the tree, the rowan tree, which has just lost most of its leaves. And what I'll do is I'll put up some pictures from how it looked at the height of its prime, I suppose you could say, because it has been absolutely beautiful, but it's just looking a bit wild now.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for this early winter garden tour. I just wanted to finish up with my new recommendation for this week, which is this amazing book here. It's called Food for Free, and it is by an author called Richard Maybe, and it's all about foraging, using what you can that's around you, and cooking with it. So it's really good. It's got a step-by-step guide, it's got lots of identification pictures, and it's also got month by month things that you can find outside to go around and forage. So I mean, definitely if you're in the UK, I would recommend picking this up. Not so sure if it would be all that relatable to other countries, but I'm sure you could give it a go. So yeah, that's my recommendation. I'm sure you can pick it up on Amazon or anywhere, any bookshops that you have nearby. So please do enjoy, and I hope you've enjoyed it today, and I also really hope to see you in some future videos. So if you would also like to join me for future content, please do remember to hit subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when I'm posting new content, which is every Thursday. All right, well, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.